Man, what's going on, everybody? So I'm here in Texas with my brother. We're getting ready to go do this concert, and I saw this clip. I said, "Man, I'm gonna post it," because sometimes y'all just need to hear it from somebody else. I've been trying to tell y'all that exposure ministry is biblical because the Bible says in the last days there'll be doctrines of devils, a great falling away, seducing spirits, that people will have a form of godliness, that people will have itching ears. I don't want to hear that. Stop talking about exposure. I don't want to hear that. Stop talking about holiness. Talk about blessings. Talk about how my business is going to make it. Prophesy to me something that's going to make me feel good. People really be having itching ears, and they think that pastors are DJs, right? They want the prophets to be DJs. You think, I'm going to select what type of preaching I want to hear. And some of you think you can manipulate God. You'll go to a watered down church to avoid accountability. You'll go somewhere where they're not stepping on your toes, and you think, oh, well, if I don't hear it, if I don't hear that type of preaching, then I'm not accountable to the truth. But the truth is the truth regardless of where you go, what church you attend to, and God is truth. And if you don't love the truth, the Bible says you'll be given over to a strong delusion, but also, right, you don't love God if you don't love the truth. So the truth is exposure ministry is biblical. The Bible says expose the unfruitful works of darkness. Cry loud on the rooftop, lift up your voice like a trumpet, call them out in front of everybody so that the fear of God may come upon them. The Bible talks about the watchman. The watchman doesn't say nothing, the blood will be on his hands. The Bible says, how can they hear without a preacher? How can they know without a preacher? But maybe y'all need to hear it from somebody else. Check this clip out real quick.
Anytime a real man of God or a real woman of God say anything about a false preacher or about a wolf, you know what y'all cry? Judgmental. And because you keep telling us we're judgmental, you let the false prophets run free in America. They got a market in the country because we can't say nothing about it without y'all attacking us. God forbid any real pastor calls out a false prophet. You posted, how could you be so judgmental? You talk like that because you have not read. Some of y'all be condemning real preachers for things Jesus did first. We just trying to follow him. We just trying to be his model. We just trying to take up his cause. And all you cry is be judgmental. So if you keep attacking real prophets to protect fake prophets, you keep a market for fake prophets to keep deceiving you who keep crying judgment against the false prophets. How do you protect your abuser? That's what y'all do in America. You protect it. We telling you this is a wolf and stay away. You judgmental. This person is an antichrist. You.
Now, some of you will say, oh, well, he's not calling them out by name. Well, that might not be his assignment, right? People have graces for different things, right? Not everybody is supposed to do everything that they see everybody else doing. Right? In the same way that not all the apostles walked on the water. Not all the apostles did what Paul did. Not all the prophets moved exactly the same. Right? So he's preaching the truth, but that doesn't mean that, for example, everything that he preaches or that I preach, we're going to do it all. Right? Everybody is just one brick in the building. Right? We are one body, but many members. So the hand is not going to do what the foot does. So that he can preach about it, but that doesn't mean he might be called to do that at this point in time, right? But exposure ministry is definitely biblical. And think about this. Think about all the people that have been deceived by false teachers, taken advantage of, been physically, financially, sexually abused. If because one person stood up and called someone out by name, or even just people being lukewarm, right? And people are looking up to this person because they idolize them, got them on a pedestal, and they think, oh, the Christianity this person is displaying. I could just listen to secular music. I could watch horror movies. I could do all these things. But somebody stood up and said, no, that's not it. That's lukewarm Christianity, right? And you got mad because you idolized that person. But then there was somebody who's like, you know what? I'm going to go read my Bible for myself. I'm going to go study for myself. And if that person had never stood up and called it out, that person would have been lost. Because once again, how can they hear without a preacher? It's necessary. Y'all can get mad all you want, but if you mad about exposure ministry, it's because you got itching ears. Y'all be blessed.